Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. So today I'm going to cover what kind of device you need to operate your Cricut. So we're primarily going to talk about laptops and computers. However, I will go into mobile devices as well. So first let's talk about why you need a device. So in order to send any image, cut file, what have you, to your Cricut machine, you need a way to communicate with it. You do that with a computer or a mobile device works as well. Now, why would you want a computer over, say, the phone that you already have in your pocket? So mobile devices are limited. Whether that is iOS or Android, they don't have all the functions that a computer or laptop would have. So let's talk about that a minute. So on your mobile device, you might not have features like offset or kerning, or be able to use the foil tool, or be able to use the knife blade. All of those are functions that are only available on a laptop or a computer. So if you want to get the most out of your Cricut, I always recommend getting a computer or a laptop. So now that you've decided that you want to get a computer or laptop, what do you get? So a Cricut is compatible with Windows or with Mac. So that portion of the decision is completely up to you. Which one do you like? Are you an Apple person or not? So let's talk about each of those. If you want a Windows computer, let's talk about what not to get first of all. The first mistake I see people doing is getting a Chromebook because they are super inexpensive. However, a Cricut does not work with a Chromebook. So now that Chromebooks are out of the picture, what kind of laptops should you get? So the minimum system requirements are Windows 8 or later. However, at least the latest updates, especially the offset, does not work with Windows 8. It requires Windows 10, at least the 64-bit version. So if you want to get, again, the most out of your Cricut machine, I would get a computer that can at least run Windows 10 64-bit or higher. And this is all at the filming of this video, and these are subject to change. So now that we know what kind of Windows we need, what kind of power are we talking about on the computer? So you'll want an Intel dual core or equivalent processor. So this makes sure that your computer has enough power to keep up with what you're doing in Design Space. Now let's talk about memory. So for RAM, you want 4 gigabytes, and for free disk space, you'll want 2 gigabytes. So these are all like minimum requirements. You can definitely go bigger than this if you would like. And how much memory you'll take up will depend on, you can use the online version of Cricut Design Space exclusively and save all of your projects only to the cloud. Or you can use the offline version whenever you want to by saving those projects and fonts directly to your computer and pulling them up from there. But that will, of course, take more memory in order to run that offline version once you're saving all those images and fonts to that device. Now, I recommend you're going to need a way to communicate with the Cricut. So to do that, you'll need a USB port or Bluetooth capability. I recommend having both. I like the backup. So if my computer, if the Bluetooth is acting up, I can always use that USB cord to connect with my Cricut machine. So I always make sure the device that I purchase has that USB connection as well. And then you'll want a 1024 by 768 screen resolution. That's the minimum screen resolution that you need. And then you will need an internet connection. So they recommend 2 to 3 megabytes per second download and 1 to 2 megabytes per second upload speed. So you may want to check your internet connection as well before you dive into getting a Cricut, computer, all these expensive devices, and then you don't have enough internet to actually run those. So that's Windows. So what if you're an Apple person? So you want Mac 10.15 or later in order to run Cricut Design Space. Again, you'll want like that very latest version of the Apple operating system if you want to use the offset feature. So that feature alone is only available on the latest versions of both Windows and the Mac operating system. Then for your Mac, the CPU, the minimum is 1.83 gigahertz. RAM minimum is 4 gigabytes. And again, 2 gigabytes of free disk space. And again, that disk space minimum is just going to really vary depending on, again, whether you want to use that offline version and will be saving tons of fonts and files to your computer, or you'll be using a cloud-based service in order to save those images, fonts, that type of thing. And the minimum display is the same at 1024 by 768 pixels. And then that internet connection would also be the same. And I would definitely check that before, again, investing in the Cricut, the computer, all the things. Be sure to check your internet speed. So I'm going to pick some of my favorite laptops and computers and drop those in the description below, along with where I like to purchase those. And that way you can shop from those if you would like. You can definitely take the minimum system requirements we just went over, go out, shop for your own device. But if you just want something quick and easy with a link, I'm going to try to drop some really affordable options below so that you can get the right device at a low price and operate your Cricut machine. So all that's great, but what if you can't afford a computer right now and you're like, for a while, I'm going to use my mobile device or tablet. Let's talk about the minimums on those, just in case you're shopping for a Cricut and wondering if your phone or tablet or iPad would actually run your Cricut machine. So for iOS devices, iPhones, iPads, you'll want iOS 12 or later on your device. And then there are a list of supported devices, both iPhones and iPads, on the Cricut website, and I will link to that in the description below. If you're watching this on computer, then head down to the bottom, click show more. If you're watching this on a mobile device, swipe up and you should see a description for the video. Alright, so what about those mobile devices and tablets that run on Android operating systems? You'll need Android 8.0 or later. Once again, just to say it again, Chromebooks are not supported by Cricut. I see so many people purchasing those, I wanted to say it twice. And again, there's a list of supported devices on the Cricut website. Dropping a link for that below, just in case you want to head there, make sure your device will be compatible. So one final note, requirements do change over time. So if you are watching this video and it is a year old, the requirements may have changed. You can head to the description below and I'll link the place where Cricut puts all their system requirements. And you can double check that the information in this video is correct and up to date within that article below. As long as it is, you are free to shop for that computer, laptop, or use that mobile device that you already have at home to operate your Cricut machine. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps answer the question of what type of computer do I need to operate my Cricut. Hopefully this answers the questions before you purchase a Cricut, because I see so many people purchase one and then completely disappointed because they want to use that knife blade and cannot with their mobile device. So hopefully this helps answer those questions up front so you know what you're getting into and how much money you're going to need to spend. So thank you all so much for joining me. If you have any questions about anything we've covered, please ask those in the comment section below. If you like this video, if it helped you, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos like this every week and you don't want to miss any of those. And once again, before you make any purchases, be sure to drop down below, click on the link to the Cricut website, double check those system requirements before you order that computer. That way you know that you have the right computer to operate your device. So thank you all so much for joining me and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.